Hi, this is Patricia Barnett. Welcome to Module 4 and my discussion on social power and the alpha dog mentality. There are 5 types of social power, but before I dive into what these are, I would like to define what power is. Power is the capacity to exercise rule or influence over one or more people. Another definition of power is the capacity or ability to direct or influence the behavior of others or the course of events. Keeping those definitions of power in mind, let's take a look at the 5 types of social power. The first is legitimate power. This comes from being appointed to a position of authority. A perfect example of this would be our bosses in the workplace having been appointed to leadership roles and delegated formal authority over followers. The second type of power is coercive power, and this comes from having the capacity to impose sanctions. Essentially, it's the ability to give and take away rewards and execute punishment. An example would be the loss of privileges, loss of a bonus, or a demotion. The third type of power is reward power, and this comes from having the ability to grant material rewards. It also refers to how readily and easily the individual can give people some type of benefit or just as easily take them away. An example of this could be time off, gifts, promotions, or just more responsibility. The fourth type of social power is expert power. And this is derived from one having the ability to influence others through sharing knowledge, information, or expertise. An example of this would be an employee who has been with the organization for a very long time and has amassed a great deal of knowledge, becoming an expert over time and using that knowledge to influence others just by sharing and using it positively. Referent power is the fifth type of social power, and this is the capacity of certain individuals to persuade or influence others through their charisma and interpersonal abilities. The person being influenced views the individual with referent power as a role model and tries to mirror them in their behavior. That, in and of itself, is power. If I were to think of the dominant social power in my organization, I don't think I could think of one. I actually think of two. I think of expert power because having expertise is crucial in our business, and having the ability to understand data and perform at a high level is important. But what's more important is being able to share that information and influence others. And that is consistent with a number of individuals in our organization today. Innovation is one of our values, and in order to be successful innovators, and this has been proven, it requires collaboration at various levels of the organization. So expert power is often on display. I would say the other is referent power, because for an organization that has been around for as many years as we have, and as employees come in new, they are seeking to connect with individuals who not only have charisma, but understand how to use it to lead and influence others in a positive way. They encourage employees and give them role models to look up to and learn from. When I joined the organization a number of years ago, I was paired with another leader assigned to show me the ropes and act as a role model for me, with the understanding that she understood the culture more than I did and was willing to guide me in that regard. I didn't just learn about the business during the time we spent together. I also observe the interactions between her and others in the organization, and that is power being used in a positive way. Lastly, I want to talk about the alpha dog mentality. David Casulo, in his book Leading the High Energy Culture, refers to the leader or authority in a group as the alpha dog. Someone like a CEO naturally has that authority, but there are others in the organization who are not CEOs or COOs who are also considered alpha dog. The alpha dog's personal truths must align with those of the organization. The alpha dog's behaviors also must align with expectations of the organization as well. Casulo also argued that alpha dogs often have expert power and the knowledge that goes with it, but always have the potential for referent power or the ability to influence through charisma. The point then is that alpha dogs, while they may be in positions of authority and have credibility with peers and everyone in the organization, especially when it comes to information and corporate knowledge, they may not necessarily have the people skills to engage employees and motivate or inspire others. The alpha dog's personal truths must again align with those of the organization, and they should be consistent and they should be results driven. The alpha dog should be an effective communicator. They should command authority when they walk in a room, and they should display humility and acceptance of others, and they should have an overall positive impact on everyone in the organization. Researchers do caution, however, about certain pitfalls of the alpha dog. There's the individual who has so much knowledge but refuses to accept or admit mistakes. Or there's also the individual who doesn't self-reflect and therefore cannot take responsibility, but instead blames others when something goes wrong. Another pitfall would be having an individualistic versus organizational mindset, and therefore is more focused on personal power than the good of the organization. Alpha dogs are confident yet humble, must know when to take responsibility, and have the power to influence, lead, make believers out of others, and they also must promote the organization in the very best light, knowing that there are individuals watching who are eager to learn and grow. They also have the power and charisma to lead with bad decisions as well, ultimately leading to consequential outcomes. Employees therefore should strive to understand the difference between the two types of alpha dogs. Thank you for joining me today as I discussed the alpha dog mentality, the 5 types of social power, and the dominant social power in my organization. Thank you for watching.